On this segment, we'll be giving you the step-by-step instructions on how to change your headlight, signal light, tail lights on your vehicles. We will tell you what size of replacement bulbs are needed and what tools are required for this application. The most important part of any service or work you do to your vehicle is to use the proper tools and work easily and not force anything. Watch the video carefully and follow the step-by-step instructions. Review the video as many times as you need to be sure and confident in your ability. With that, let's get started with today's application. From us here at Auto Body Tips, thank you and enjoy the video.
For today's application, fiber stick, 1/4 inch ratchet, extension with a 10mm socket, and a clip removing tool. For this application, we have to remove the 10mm bolts. There's 3 of them. One here, and one down in here. These 2 have to be removed completely. The one down here just has to be loosened off and just left onto the light itself, but it has to be loosened. So let's get started. All right. We'll just set that off to the side for safekeeping. This one down in here is the one we back off of 3 or 4 turns. Okay, let's get that light out of there. Okay, let's get our fingers underneath this leading edge and our other hand up on top. And we have to just rock that light outwards. And it's got retaining clip here and a guide back over here. So that just rocks out of there. So let's do that. Then get your fingers back around to the back with your hand underneath the light supporting it. And just pull that straight out of there, like so. Right here is our wiring harness. And this little tab here has to be depressed down, like so. Then that just pulls off of there. You can see how that pushes down. Tuck that out of the way. And the same with our signal marker lamp. Rock it over so I can show you. This one here. That there also has to be depressed down. And that just pulls right off. Okay, let's set our light up on the side over here and let's have a look at the bulbs. This is the one that I was talking to turn out a few turns. What it does is the header panel slips into it on each side, and then it just screws back down, and it's a pinch fit, and it just holds it into place. And here's our one retainer and our guides. Okay, let's get the lights out of there. We'll start here with our signal turn light. That just turns out counterclockwise, comes out. And this here is a clear 3457 bulb. If you touch it with your fingers to put it on, this light just pushes in, like so. We're going to put this back in because it's still good. And we want to wipe it clean. Take the oils off of our fingers, off the bulb. That way the light will last longer. And that just goes in there, only goes in one way, turns counterclockwise, and goes back into position. Okay, here for our low beam, it's got a protective cover on it. We'll just peel that off of there. That's to stop the water and dust from going inside of your lens. And this here, our low beam, it is a 51 watt HB4 E1 bulb. Let's turn that out counterclockwise. Just get your fingers in there, turn it back, and just lift it out. I'll give you enough wiring harness there. And there's our bulb there. To remove this bulb from our wiring harness, just pry gently up on our tabs and just push back and pull that off nice and easy. It only fits one way to go back on. And this here, we do not want to touch that with our fingers because the oils on our fingers will burn that bulb out quicker. And if you do touch it, clean it up, wipe it clean. and then we're putting it back down inside of the socket. Straight back down. It only goes in one way, and then turn it clockwise, and it clicks back into place. Now we'll have a look at our high beam. We'll pull off our cover, set that off to the side also. And this here is our high beam. It's 60 watts, and it's a HB3E1. And the same thing, that turns out counterclockwise. And it just lifts right out of the hole. And it's the same thing. Just pries off gently and releases it. Then you can put your new bulb on, put it back down, and the same thing. If you touch it, always wipe it back off. Let's get that back inside of there. Just like that. Let's get our covers back on, and we'll put that light back in. Now with our covers pushed back on, let's hook back up our wiring harness and our signal marker lamp. That only goes on one way only. And that just pushes in. We take our wiring harness, and that just slides back on, only one way. Securely clicks into place. We line up our guides, and they only line up in one area. Back in here, and then lower. That it clips it here into the retainer. And there's one more guide down here. That light just virtually slides right back into its position, and then just gently push it back into its place. It's secured. Okay, let's get our 10mm bolts back in. Start out here. Turning clockwise, just snugging them up, not over tightening them. Don't want to break them. And then snugging our hidden 10mm down. Just like that. Okay, let's have a look at the taillights in this 2005 Ford Expedition. For this 2005 Expedition, to remove the taillight, we'll need a number T15 Torx bit and a fiber stick. Right here is where we have to remove our two number 15 Torx screws. So let's get started. Just placing those off to the side so you don't lose them. Now just removing this light, getting our hand in behind here, hanging onto it, getting our fiber stick here so we don't damage the paint or the light. Just get it in behind and just gently pry back. It will snap out of place because there's our retaining clips and the retainers. Okay, here we have to remove our pigtail ends from our lights. Right here we have to depress down, and then that allows us to pull the light off. This signal the pigtail off. And same with the backup light. We'll put those away here. Okay, let's have a look at those bulbs. Okay, always set your lights on a clean piece of paper or a piece of cloth so you don't damage or scratch up the lenses. Let's have a look at our signal light here. This turns out counterclockwise and comes out. These bulbs just push into place, like so. This bulb is still good. This is a 4157K. We'll just push that back in there. Wipe it clean. Always wipe them clean. And let's just slide that right back into its place here. Now this only goes in one way, so you have to find it, turn it in clockwise. Let's have a look at our backup light. It's the same with the backup light. It just pushes in. And the backup light's a 3156. Slide that back in. It's still good. Clean that off. And put that back in here. Here's the retainers I was talking about that hold it secured into the quarter panel. So just by gently prying, that releases them out of their clip. Let's get this light back in. Okay, gray to gray, only goes one way. Clips into place, nice and secure. Black to black, clips in, nice and secure. Then taking our light, lining it up, lining up our retainers in the front, and at the back also there is a guide here also. Line that up, and then just push the light and it clicks into place like that. Let's get our screws back in. Not too tight, don't want to strip them out. There, that's all there is to it.